Hello guys, and welcome back to Makeup FOMO. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a haul, a little bit of like a first impression of a bunch of new Colourpop stuff that I got. I put in a decent sized order and just got it in maybe like a couple days ago. And so I wanted to show you guys a little haul because I did get like enough stuff to do a haul. I feel like typically when I order Colourpop stuff, I only get like a few things that I've been eyeing, but like I got a decent amount of stuff this time, so I want to do like a little haul and then try out some of this stuff for the first time on camera with y'all. So this is my big, I got like a big box. Like I've never gotten a box this big from Colourpop. I've gotten like the mailers and then obviously like those medium boxes, but this is the biggest one I've ever gotten, and this is all the stuff that we have in here. So it's pretty jam-packed. So I'm super excited. I also just love like the little cards that they give you. They're just like so just adorable. I like them. So it says New Year, New Colourpop, which I don't understand that. Are they like rebranding? Or I mean, I know this logo is a little bit new, so maybe, I'm not sure. So let me show you what I got. All right. This is such a big box. I'm so excited. And excuse my hair, it's kind of not doing good, but I'm gonna fix it when I'm done. So the first thing I got, I actually have to put these together. I didn't realize they mailed them separately, but it makes sense. So I picked up the Private Party bronzer. And so since you can buy these either just as a pan or you can buy them with the compact, it's only an extra $1 for the compact, so I opted for that. So I need to put this in here. I was kind of confused when I first opened this, but that makes sense. I just have to insert it. So I need to do that, but I did get Private Party primarily because my favorite YouTuber, Nicole Cutler, she always raves about this specific color, and her and I have fairly similar like skin tones, and I also just pretty much buy anything that she recommends. So I knew I had to get that because she freaking raved about it. So that's the only like face product I got, and then everything else in here is either eyes or lips. So as you can see, I do have like my foundation and concealer and like powder and everything, and I have a little bit of blush on, but I have not put on a bronzer yet, so I am gonna apply this. Oh, I didn't put a highlight on yet either, but I'll do that later. And so then I actually picked up, I only have like 2 or 3 Super Shock shadows right now. I did have a lot more, but I actually ended up decluttering those just because I didn't really find myself using them. But what I do use, which are the ones that I do still have, are like my super shimmery, like very glitter, like almost like top coat type shades. So I picked up a few more just like super glittery ones. So I got I Heart This, which I also love. I don't know if Colourpop has always done this. I don't think they have, but now they have a cutout in the front of the box to show you the color, but they also have a cutout in the very back so that you can see the back of the packaging to see what color it is. So it's just kind of hollow in the middle. I think that's smart. So the first shade I got is called I Heart This. I think this is one of like their original like OG shades that they've had forever. And it's just this super pretty, like kind of cool toned, like mauve-y pink. I just think this is so gorgeous, and I just love cool tone anything, so I really wanted to try this one. And then the next one I got is called Frog, which I had never like heard of this one, but I just saw on this site and I thought it was so pretty. This is a little bit more of like a pinky like glitter shade. So as you can tell, this is like super shimmery, just like a nice kind of like iridescent pink. So then I actually grabbed Birthday Wish, which comes in like the limited edition really pretty purple packaging for their 4th birthday. And this is also just a really gorgeous like cooler toned champagne silver gold kind of thing. So those are the 3 Super Shock shadows I got. And then I got 3 lipsticks, 2 of which were actually repurchases. Trap and Dopey I already have, and they're 2 of my favorites. All of my favorite lip colors, aside from a few, are pretty much all from Colourpop. These are backups as well, just because you can't trust Colourpop. Like they just go and discontinue stuff without warning anybody. Now I'm just purchasing backups of the ones that I love that I'm getting low on, because I don't want to risk it happening like it did with Jiffy. So these are 2 more backups that I got. So this one is Trap. You guys have probably seen these before. Actually like a really nice like muted mauve-y cool toned purple. Oh, I love it. And then Dopey is, it looks a little bit brighter pink in the tube than it actually is, but it's kind of like a mauve-y like dusty rose pink, which is also one of my favorites. Like, I literally just love so many Colourpop lipsticks. If you were to make me make a list of my favorite lipstick colors, if I had to do like 10, like 8 of them would be Colourpop, because I just love their formula and I love their shades. But I did want to try a new one that I hadn't tried before. This is Chi. This is from the Karuchi collab. This is like an older collab. I think this is like definitely obviously from last year, but like this is an older collab. But oh, I think Karuchi has done a few different collabs with Colourpop, so I don't remember exactly which one this is from. But how pretty is this packaging with the little like flower? I just love the colors and like the design with like the gold detailing. And so this is obviously kind of like a cooler toned like brownie nude, which is one of my favorites as well. That's why I really love 0.0. So I was really excited to try that one. Like, I haven't tried any of these yet. Like I said, this is a first impression of some of these things, so I have not tried those out, but I'm very excited. And so these last two items are actually both eyeshadow palettes, which Colourpop shadows are some of my most favorite. I just love their palettes. I have so many of them, and they're so well priced for the quality that it's like, it's just a no-brainer. So the first one is this Chasing Rainbows palette, which has this really pretty like reflective packaging, and it's kind of cool because it's not even in a box. It just is in this like clear little, I don't know, plastic thing, and then the palette is right here. So I love that it's just like not a ton of bulky packaging. I think that's awesome. So this has 15 shades in it, which is a ton of shades. And this is, I think, their like, was this their holiday palette? I think this was technically like their Christmas like holiday palette for this year. Y'all know colorful palettes were like such a trend this year. So obviously, you know, they jumped on board with that, but I'm about it because I love these shades. Like, that yellow is just gorgeous. I love some of these like blues and like these pinky reddish shades. So I'm super excited about this one. How many times am I gonna say I'm super excited about it? But the main reason that I placed this order, like what even really brought me to Colourpop's website, was this Through My Eyes palette. This is the newest ILUVSARAHI and Colourpop collab collection. Just like with Karuchi and like Kathleen Lights, like they've done 100 ILUVSARAHI collabs. It's kind of like a pet peeve of mine. If y'all read our blog, makeupfomo.com, I've ranted about this more than once, but like, as much as I love Colourpop and I love the people that they collab with, I feel like it's just getting so redundant. Like Kathleen Lights, I absolutely love her. She's like one of my all-time favorite YouTubers. But they've collabed with her, like at this point, like 11 times or something like crazy. And like ILUVSARAHI, this is like her, what, second, third, fourth time Karuchi. Like, they just keep using the same influencers and keep doing the same collabs with them. I don't know if it's just like a financial thing, if it's like, it costs them less money to have to pay the same people. I don't know what it is, but I feel like the novelty has kind of started wearing off when you just keep repeating the same collabs over and over. That's just me, but that didn't stop me from buying this because this is so gorgeous. If y'all have not seen this, it's amazing. I mean, I just think the box, first of all, is stunning. I'm definitely going to be keeping this box. I save a lot of my boxes, but this one in particular, I just love like the makeup on it. I just think it's so like different looking. But the palette itself is also freaking stunning. Like, I just love the green kaleidoscope kind of thing they've got going on. Of course, they have the shades on the back of the palette and on the back of the box, but they also have the shades on the actual palette this time, which I so appreciate. It comes with a mirror as well, as y'all can see, and these mirrors are huge, which I freaking love about them. And here are the shades. Like, tell me that doesn't just speak to you on like so many levels. Oh my gosh, like I just love the mustardy yellow, like this kind of burgundy shade, this kind of like murky green, the orange. I just, oh, this like shimmer shades, these up here, this like cool toned grayish purple. Like almost all of these shades literally spoke to me when I saw this, so I was like, that means I need it. I don't know about y'all, but there are just so many palettes on the market and so many coming out constantly that like, that for me to purchase a new one and like add to my collection, like I've already started to outgrow my Alex drawers because I have so much makeup and so many eyeshadow palettes. I have like, I counted, I have like 70 something eyeshadow palettes. Like, it's getting ridiculous. So when I am going to add a palette to my collection, it really needs to like completely suck me in. Like, I need to fall in love with it. And majority, like 95% of the palettes that I see launching, and I see pretty much all of them because we post about them on makeupfomo.com. If y'all don't know, that is what our blog is like primarily about. It's just like the newest makeup releases. That's why it's called FOMO, so that you don't miss out on the makeup releases, because we keep you posted. So definitely check the link if you haven't been there, and if you haven't, you definitely should go there. So I know pretty much all the makeup that's coming out from majority of brands, and unless the palette literally like makes me drool and looks and feels like something that I don't have, that I've never seen before, and that will like really add value and something different to my collection, I don't even go anywhere near it. And so when I see one that like makes my jaw drop like this, where I was like, holy crap, I haven't seen anything like that, like I need that, then it's done. It's over with. I am going to purchase it without a doubt. It is for me. And that's what this palette did for me. So I haven't even touched it. Obviously, this is first impression, but it's even prettier in person. So this is a palette that I need to have. And at this point, I'm very excited to just try it out and put on my eyeballs. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I just threw the bronzer into the little compact. I guess these are just super generic compacts, because it just literally says pressed powder face, and then on the back it just says highlighter bronzer. Like, it doesn't specify anything, which is totally fine. And so what I do really love is that it does have a mirror on here, which I think is super nice, and it's like a big mirror, like it takes up the whole entire lid, which is awesome. And then this is what Private Party is. I'm sure y'all have heard before, but it is just kind of annoying because the name Private Party is on the back of the pan, not like the back of the compact. So I'm sure, you know, you could just write it down. But if you have like a few of these, I feel like it would be hard to be able to tell which of them is which. So, but first world problems, right? So I'm just going to use the mirror in here because I just feel like this is so handy, and I'm going to test this out. I feel like this is on the warmer side for sure. And I'm not really necessarily contouring. I'm kind of just using this everywhere. Yeah, I like this a lot actually. It's very like smooth, like it's going on very smoothly, and it's blending out and just kind of like diffusing. This mirror is great. Like, this mirror is definitely big enough to use to apply it. I just feel like this is not like the most pigmented. Like, I feel like I have to keep dipping in and reapplying. So that is what the Private Party bronzer looks like. I do already have a little bit of blush on and a little bit of highlight as well, as you can tell, but that kind of just, you know, pulled like the base portion of my face together because I was looking hella pale. It is like a satin formula, so it's definitely not matte, which I don't mind. I think that just helps you kind of like look really healthy and just, I don't know, very sun-kissed and glowy, you know? Okay, now for the exciting part. I just cannot wait to like break into this. I'm only gonna use this palette today, but if y'all would be interested in seeing a look with the Chasing Rainbows palette, something colorful or even not, because I think you could do something colorful or kind of more basic with this, I can definitely do a video on that, so just let me know. I don't actually really have much of a plan. I never really have a plan when I start doing my eyeshadow looks, but they always like come together in the end. So what I think I want to do first is just grab this shade right here called Sandalwood. It's like a really nice cool toned, it's almost like that like flesh toned shade that I usually like to like throw down as like an all over kind of like base shade, but this is definitely a little darker than the shade I would normally use for something like that. This is like, it's definitely cooler toned and a little deeper. So rather than put it all over my lid, I'm gonna use this as like a very, very light wash of color in the crease, just to kind of get the crease going, kind of set the lid with the concealer that's on it, and get the transition area ready for the other shades we're gonna use. So I will say there is definitely a good amount of kick up in the pan. It's got a little kickback, but definitely nothing crazy. Ooh, do I want to do warm tones or cool tones? That's kind of the cool part about this palette, is you literally have like so many warmer tones, kind of more or less up in this area, like with the reds and the orange and the yellow, but then you have some really nice cool tones with the blues and the purple. Let's go warm though. And I'm going to work, so I don't want to do anything too crazy, but like this palette makes me want to do something crazy. So maybe I'll film another video with this. Like maybe I'll post this one as like a haul / first impression, and then do more or less like a tutorial. Since this is not a tutorial, this is just kind of playing. let me know if y'all would be interested in that. I think what I want to do next is use this yellow shade called Wild Soul. Oh, that's like what first drew me to this palette. Like, I feel like when you look at this palette, that's the first shade you see, and then you're in love. So I think I'm just gonna blow this all throughout the crease just to kind of warm it up and marry it to that sandalwood shade that we originally placed down. And so since we're keeping this warm toned, you probably saw this coming, but I'm gonna use the shade Euphoric, which is like this orangey shade right here. Ooh. Wow. That's like a perfect like melon. I don't know, doesn't that just make you think of like melon? I don't know. I think, oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. Okay, so now I just want to put this everywhere, but I'm gonna focus this here on the outer like third and then drag it. I'm not gonna bring it all the way throughout the crease, so I'm just kind of keeping this out here on like this outer third, but still blending it into the crease. Oh my gosh, that is bold. It's a little less bright in person than it is on camera, but wow. I'm actually just gonna go back with that original yellow shade that we just used right before that, Wild Soul, and just blend out the crease a little bit, just because I feel like that orange kind of took over the yellow. Okay, so now that we have this going on, I'm gonna use this shade right here called Mesmerize. So I'm going to just use that on an Alamar Cosmetics like skinny little, this is almost like a concealer looking type brush, but it's just a really good thin packing brush. I'm gonna just try it with that first. It looks like it's almost just a pure glitter shade, but I'm gonna try it with that, and then depending on how that goes, I might end up using my finger. This looks like it's literally just like a packed glitter. Like not even a shadow. Oh my gosh. I don't know if the camera is really like picking up the full effect of this glitter, but like that shade alone is enough to make this palette completely worth it. It's gonna, I'm not sure if y'all are gonna really be able to tell, but do y'all see how that's just like, I don't think it's picking it up, but it's literally just like glitter packed into the pan. And none of these other shades, maybe this one over here called Flex, this like blackish purple one, all the other shades look like a straight up shimmer shadow, and so did this one until I started using it. But now that I'm looking at it closer, like it's definitely just glitter in a pan. I haven't watched any other videos using this palette, so maybe that's my bad, but I think if I were starting this video over, I would probably put like maybe Euphoric, this orange shade. I think I might have just packed this all over the lid rather than just on the outer third, because this glitter shade doesn't have a ton of like pigment to it. It's mostly just glitter. So I think it would be better used almost as like a eyeshadow topper than on its own, just because you can kind of still see my eyelid underneath of it, and I think it would just pop even more if it had like a shadow underneath it to really like give it a lot of color. And I think I also would have either wet my brush or I would have used like a glitter glue or something like that, just because I don't know if y'all can tell, but I do have like little flecks of glitter that have fallen out all over my face. Like, yeah, so it definitely had some fallout. So maybe even just do your eyes first if you're planning on using that shade. But I think if I had wet my brush or used a glitter glue, it would have like adhered to my eye a lot better, and it wouldn't have kind of gone everywhere onto my face. So I don't really want to mess with the eyelid portion anymore, only because I'm a little bit worried that if I blend anything else like with that glitter shade, since I didn't use a glue, that it's gonna just fall out even more and I'll have to almost like start it over. So I think I'm gonna kind of stop on the lids, which I know this is like the most simple look ever. There's only like 3 shades that I use so far, but I think it's gorgeous. What I'm gonna do just to kind of finish it up a little bit is use a little bit more of that Wild Soul shade, that yellow, and just on like this thinner fluffy brush, or like this, you know, more dense fluffy brush, I definitely am gonna fluff that here on my lower lash line, just cause I think that'll tie it in, and I just love this yellow shade so much. And then just to kind of intensify it a little, I'm gonna use a little more of the orangey shade Euphoric. I'm gonna go easy though, because as y'all can tell, like this is almost like a neon shade once it goes on your eyes. So I just barely tapped my brush in there, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of this. And then to highlight, since there's really only one highlight shade in here anyway, I'm gonna take this shade right here called Lucido. This is a gorgeous, like very cool toned gold shimmer shade. I'm gonna put that on my inner corner, and I'm gonna put that on my brow bone. So what I think I'm gonna do, just because this look ended up being a lot more, not that it's like simple, because you know, it's fun and colorful, but in terms of actually like using the palette, I only used 4 shades in here, and there's 16, so I barely used like a quarter of what this palette has to offer. So what I think I'm gonna do, now that I think know a little bit more about this palette and have like a better idea of how to use it, I definitely wanna do a couple more looks with this. So I think what I'll probably end up doing is filming at least 1, if not 2 more looks, and then maybe I'll combine them in one video so I can show you all a little bit more of how this guy works. So this is kind of where I'm gonna stop with the eyes. I'm gonna go just a tight line and throw on some mascara off camera, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished up my makeup. I just threw on a bunch of mascara. I tight lined with my L'Oreal pencil like I always do, and then I actually have MAC Costa Riche on my like regular waterline. Yeah. So this is what we're working with. I mean, I love it. I think it's very pretty and like eye-catching, but definitely like fairly simple. Last but not least though, I really want to try on this Chi liquid lipstick because I have not even like swatched this yet, so I'm very excited to see what it's like. And this is an ultra matte, which I definitely prefer the ultra satin formula better, but I can like live with the matte if I really like the shade. I love it. It's exactly what I wanted whenever I picked it out. Like a really nice, it's showing up a little bit later on camera than it does in person. It might just be with the lighting changing, but it's just a perfect like nude. Like it's a little darker than a nude obviously, but I love the cool tone of it. It doesn't really go with this look because I did such a warm toned eye. I just don't really like warm tone nudes. I don't like peachy nudes. I really like a cooler, like almost grayish toned nude lip, especially like this one. This is like a grayish brown, which this kind of reminds me of 0.0, but 0.0 is a little bit more brown and a little bit deeper. This is like a lighter, grayer version of 0.0, which is right up my alley. Like that's exactly what I was hoping this would be. I just realized I haven't had earrings on for this entire video. So I'm super excited about this lip color. Maybe I could even do like a whole video on just my favorite Colourpop liquid lipsticks and actually do like a try on, like do actual lip swatches with all of them, because I just love so many of their lip colors and I have a pretty decent sized collection of them that I feel like that would actually be like maybe a helpful video for some people that are trying to narrow in on some that they want to try. So that is going to be everything for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, we would love to have you. We have so much fun here, and until next time, I will see y'all in our next video. Bye guys.